New Jersey. Tonight, the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. They're both 4-1 on top of the AFC Eastern Division. And the Dolphins are once again the explosive offensive team they were last year. Miami Dolphins quarterback Dan Marino rewrote the NFL's record book last year, and he's off and running again. Last season, Marino passed for over 5,000 yards, hitting for a record-shattering 48 touchdowns. And wide receiver Mark Clayton also set an NFL record with 18 touchdown receptions. Tonight, the Dolphins face the New York Jets with quarterback Ken O'Brien, who's beginning to blossom. O'Brien, like Marino, is in his third year, and he's big, strong, and he can fire the football with a flick of the wrist. And tonight, for only the second time this season, O'Brien will have deep threat Wesley Walker as a key wide receiver. And when the Jets want to move the ball with the run, there's always Freeman McNeil. McNeil is a slashing power runner and perhaps the key to the Jets' offensive hopes tonight. McNeil has had days running backs dream of against the Dolphins, but since arriving on the New York Jets scene in 1981, McNeil and his teammates have only defeated the Dolphins one time. Tonight, live from East Rutherford, New Jersey, Giant Stadium, it's the Dolphins and the Jets. Everyone, I'm Frank Gifford, and welcome to Giant Stadium. We're glad you're with us this evening. My colleagues, O.J. Simpson and Joe Namath feel we have another great football game coming your way tonight. Certainly one that's going to have a lot of offensive explosions, because that's what you get with Miami Dolphins. They are here before a sellout crowd to play the New York Jets, both on top of the AFC Eastern Division. And for the Jets, well, they might feel a little bit snake-bit because they have not beaten the Dolphins since the AFC Championship game back in the season of 1982. They have lost 7 straight. They'd like to set the record straight tonight, but it will not be an easy thing to do. Again, it should be a good football game, and I quite frankly don't know how my colleague Joe Namath is keeping his mind on anything but what has happened over the past week. First of all, at halftime tonight, they're going to retire his number for the Jets. He's going to receive his Hall of Fame ring, which is, there's only 128 of them in existence. And Saturday, Joe Namath and Deborah Namath gave birth to a beautiful little gal, a #1 draft pick, no question about it. Her name is Jessica Grace, and there she is, absolutely adorable, wearing the bib that was provided to Joe a couple of months ago in anticipation of Jessica's arrival by his former head coach, Weeb Eubank. So, Joe, quite frankly, can you get your mind on a football game with everything that's going on in your personal life?
Well, Frank, I don't find it difficult at all, actually. These two teams are two of my favorite teams to watch, and I'm looking for a hot game tonight. Now, for the Jets to be able to win this game, they're going to have to do what they do best, and that's give the ball to Freeman McNeil and keep it on the ground, keep it away from the Miami offense. Freeman right now is third in the AFC as a leader in rushing, and I look for him to be #1 after tonight. Kenny O'Brien is off to a good start for the Jets. He only has 3 interceptions in 5 games. He's not making mistakes, and he's turning bad plays into positive plays for the Jets. In fact, right now, Kenny is ranked 1 notch higher than Miami's Dan Marino in the NFL passing statistics. Defensively, well, that's another story. The Jets have their hands full, just like any team facing the Dolphins. But the Jets have a new defense this year, a 3-4, with Bud Carson as a coordinator. The Jets haven't worked everything out yet. They're not a smooth defense yet, but they're a good defense. They may have to play a little bit over their heads to hold this Miami team down. The kicking game, they're going to need a good kicking game out of Jennings, and Pat Leahy may decide this game with a field goal. O.J., how do you see it?
Well, I see that these guys are ready to play because they're ready to kick off. The key to the game for Miami, they got to take Freeman McNeil out of the football game. They can't let him control the ball running the game, and I think the Jets must score 28 or more points to win here tonight. Let's go down to the field, Frank.
And we are ready to go. The Jets will kick off to the Miami Dolphins. That will mean Pat Leahy to put it in play. Lorenzo Hampton has dropped for Miami. The rookie, #1 draft pick from Florida. Most a talented athlete. He awaits the kick at the goal line. And Pat Leahy booms one deep into the end zone. And for Dan Marino and the Dolphins, they'll have the first down following the touchback out of the 20-yard line. Dan Marino, what a tremendous season a year ago. Over 5,000 yards. Just an incredible year. 48 touchdown passes. And after a shaky start against Houston, after a long holdout, he apparently is back in stride. Last week, however, in a win over the Pittsburgh Steelers, Marino was picked off 3 times by the Steelers defense. That's only the second time that has ever happened to him. Single setback for the Dolphins, and he's a great one. Number 22, Tony Nathan. He can do so many things. Good receiver, good runner. And on first down, Marino will put it in the air. What's new? The blitz is on, but Marino hurries one to Bruce Hardy. Out over the 20-yard line to about the 23-yard line.
That's just what the Jets are going to have to do defensively. Big Joe Klecko got in there on Dan just as he released the ball, and Dan got hit pretty good.
So it'll be second down and 10. And looking at the Jets, defensively, their secondary, a problem. Harry Hamilton, the free safety on the injured reserve. Kirk Springs has moved over there from the strong safety, and Johnny Lynn, who's never played that spot, has moved over to strong safety. We'll talk about it as the game progresses. And when your secondary is hurting, it's tough to go against the Dolphins. That's Tony Nathan. And a swarming Jets defense. We talked about the new defense under defensive coordinator Bud Carson. It's a 3-4 defense, but they move around a lot. They look a little bit like the Bears. They're jumping all over the field. They'll have Mark Gastineau in and out of the lineup. They'll have him in a lot of different positions. They'll have him as a stand-up man. They'll bring him from that stand-up position. Then they'll come with 4 down linemen on the sheer pass situation. And that's what they've done right now. It's 3rd down and 9. They bring in the additional defensive lineman. That is Barry Bennett. From the shotgun, the Jets, the 6th defensive back. Marino, he was hurried, tried to get the ball deep to Vince Heflin. But Heflin had not even made his cut when Marino was forced to fire.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Marino was forced to fire. The Jets got pressure up the middle, and that's what they're going to have to do. Dan does not leave the pocket to his right or to his left, so the Jets will be running stunts up the middle to put pressure on him.
Big, booming kicker is Reggie Roby. As you look at Kirk Springs, a dangerous return man. Back in 1983, led the AFC with over 12.5 yards on a return. And the Jets should get good field position out of this, even though Reggie Roby is leading the AFC in net average. He'll put that up just about eye level for us, and we're up on the 3rd deck. And this time, off the side of his foot, but it does take a bit of a Miami Dolphin bounce. That was not a characteristic putt from Reggie Roby. He usually booms the ball way up in the air. That time, however, he did get a good bounce to the 29. Let's pick up the offensive unit. Kid O'Brien, taken in the 1st round 3 years ago. 3 players ahead of Dan Marino. He has come along very slowly. Had problems, missing most of training camp a year ago in a court case here in New York. Never really got off on the right foot. Consequently, played most of the season behind Pat Ryan. But he does have Wesley Walker back tonight, number 85. He represents the speed, the deep threat for the Jets. On 1st down, O'Brien fires it out. Gets it to the rookie, Al Toon. And Toon is short of the 1st down, out over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Looking at the defensive unit of the Miami Dolphins, bolstered considerably, I might add, by the addition of Hugh Green, who's in the lineup, an all-pro linebacker out of Pittsburgh 5 years ago, the same year Taylor came up. Pro Bowl a couple of times. The Dolphins got him this past week, and he's in the lineup at the moment. 2nd down and 3. O'Brien, a lot of time. And O'Brien goes over the middle, and he fires, and it's complete. And once again, to the rookie, number 1 draft pick out of Wisconsin, Al Toon.
Miami Dolphins are trying to confuse O'Brien. They're playing with 5 defensive backs, and they're lining up Hugh Green as a middle linebacker. They haven't done that this year. Of course, this is Hugh Green's 1st game. Now, this is an example of how cool O'Brien is keeping this year. He finds his secondary receiver very nicely.
Al Toon, his 4th and 5th receptions of the season already this evening. He had only 3 in the previous 5 games. The number 1 draft pick for the Jets. On 1st down, Freeman McNeil works the right side for about 3 to the 42-yard line. Give him 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
I think it's good strategy as we look at Coach Walton coming out throwing the football, because everyone feels that the Jets are a ball control running football team, but they realize the only way they can beat Miami is they're going to have to outscore them. The only time Miami loses is when another team normally scores 30 points or more.
2nd down and 8. The ball at the Dolphins' 42-yard line. McNeil is the single setback for the Jets. Right side once again. McNeil with a quick cut. Twists and turns inside the 35. It appears to be a Jet 1st down. Tackled there by Paul Langford. But McNeil will give you a lot of moves, but he does like to go north and south with it also. He is very quick, has a quick cut. Not that tall in stature at 5'11", but he carries a lot of power, O.J., at 212 pounds.
Yes, he does. He's one of the best runners in the game of football. He's always been a big play type of football player. I can recall him in college making a big fourth-quarter reception as they got the first down to beat USC in a big game. But what they're doing, they're running this football, and that's what they're going to have to do. The biggest weakness Miami had last year was their defense against the run.
They suffered throughout the season, but they could not have suffered too much because they were 14-2. They went all the way to the Super Bowl before losing to the 49ers. They just scored an awful lot of points. McNeil again with that quick cut turns back into the pileup. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He might even lose about a half a yard. Jackie Schiff, the linebacker, number 50 for the Dolphins, was there for the stop.
You know, I spoke with Marvin Powell this week, and he had concern about Doug Betters. And actually, Doug Betters got in there and forced this play to turn back inside. It's a nice play by Schiff making the tackle, but Betters was the man that forced Freeman to cut back.
Lots of emotion here at Giant Stadium tonight. Jets fans love to defeat the Miami Dolphins. But they have had their problems over the past 7 meetings. O'Brien in and out of the hands of Freeman McNeil. Just a little high for the 5'11" McNeil. It'll be third down and long. And Freeman McNeil, who had only 11 receptions into the night, could not come down with it. We'll see the special teams come onto the field, the defensive unit, as they change for the Dolphins. They bring in a couple of extra defensive backs. And the Jets have brought in a fourth wide receiver. Johnny Hector comes in, number 34. A setback. JoJo Townsend is split to the right. Kurt Sohn split to the left. And O'Brien in trouble. And tried to get it to Nicky Schuler. It's incomplete. Mark Brown had the jersey of Ken O'Brien within his grasp.
That was a good play by Kenny, I might add. He avoided taking about a 5-yard loss, which could maybe have made this a more difficult field goal attempt for Pat Leahy.
Pat Leahy will have a career matching effort of 52 yards. That's his best over a lot of years.
A lot of years, Frank. As a matter of fact, we played together. His first game was against your New York Giants team.
52-yard attempt. Pat Ryan is the holder, and there's movement. And it could move the Jets up 5 yards. Kim Bolkamper, I believe, encroached, made the contact. Here's Red Cashin, our referee for the evening.
Encroachment, number 58 on the defense, still fourth down.
It's Kim Bolkamper, and perhaps a sigh of relief can be heard throughout the stadium on the part of Pat Leahy, because he was right at the extent of his, well, he was right out there as far as he could kick it. Now he gets to move up 5. The down remains the same, so the field goal unit, of course, stays on. Pat Ryan, the holder. Guy Bingham provides the snap. He has hit earlier this season from 48 yards. Blocked. And the Dolphins cover it. William Judson is there, and as so often happens, when a field goal kicker is really right at the limitation that he can possibly reach, well, he kicks it a little low. That was blocked, and the Dolphins have it back.
December 11th, 1972, Joe Namath became the first quarterback to pass for over 400 yards in a Monday night football game. He threw for 403 yards, but the Jets lost to the Raiders 24-16.
Well, you would think the Jets would pick up on that number 49. He has just blocked another one here, and the Dolphins get it back out over their own 30-yard line. And they bring in 2 tight ends. You might recall Dan Marino pressured in that first series, their first possession. They'll keep one of those tight ends in the block for him. This is Tony Nathan out of the backfield. And Nathan, short of a first down, out close to the 40-yard line, taken out of bounds there by Russell Carter.
Yeah, well, Russell that time got hung up trying to harass Mark Clayton, and he went too far inside, and that left Tony Nathan wide open to the outside.
And one of the reasons they have 2 tight ends in the game is to keep one of them in the game to block, because Bud Carson's defense is trying to confuse Marino, and what they're trying to do is figure out what they're doing, so they're going to protect Marino as best they can until they figure it out.
Nathan got 9, second down and 1, the ball right on the 40-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Marino reading and checking off. Has a lot of time. Throws underneath, and Lorenzo Hampton the rookie from Florida. He didn't get much out of it, but he gets the first down out to the 43-yard line before Lance Mell made the stop for the Jets.
Hey, that was pretty good pass coverage downfield that time by the Jets. Marino had plenty of time to get the ball to one of his deep receivers, but he didn't have anyone open.
Flacco has gone to the sidelines for the New York Jets. Their nose tackle, big number 73. I understand he has suffered a laceration of the thumb. Will get some stitches and will probably be back into the ball game. First down, Miami. Hampton, and the rookie from Florida finds a gap and just explodes out into Jet territory near the 47-yard line before he's stopped by Johnny Lynn.
Let's take a look at it. It's just what we would call a 5-drive, straight-ahead blocking. Each man gets on a man, and that offensive line of the Dolphins has always been one of the better offensive line, and Lorenzo Hampton appears to be a future star in this league.
Picked up his first NFL touchdown a week ago against the Steelers. And the difference in that ball game. At the 47-yard line of the Jets. Little power drive over the left side. Ron Davenport, another rookie, a rookie from Louisville, a 6th-round draft pick. Davenport goes about 230. Came in tonight averaging just under 5 yards a carry in his first professional season. Of course, missing from the Dolphins' offensive attack is running back Joe Carter, their second-year running back from Alabama. He's on the injured reserve with a knee injury. So we have a pair of rookie running backs for the Dolphins that work behind Woody Bennett and Tony Nathan. Lorenzo Hampton from Florida and Ron Davenport from Louisville. Marino. This is Lorenzo Hampton. And he's hit at the 41-yard line. Cal Clifton from his linebacking spot made the stop. Gain of about a yard. It'll put Marino into a 3rd down and 4 situation. Johnny Lynn has had problems all season. He's had a very sore thumb. They were working it on the sidelines. They really needed Johnny Lynn in there because they are really hurting in the secondary. And that is not a good situation against the pass-minded Miami Dolphins. 3rd and 4. Nathan, number 22, who works so well out of the backfield, is in there side by side with Marino in the shotgun. The blitz is on. Gastineau around the horn. He gets there too late. And Marino was there. Matt Moore didn't handle. And a good effort by Russell Carter, who might have got a hand on it. But Marino just did get it away before Gastineau, big number 99, turned the corner, and he just about got there.
The Jets are in trouble with their secondary right now. Rich Miano is playing free safety, but you see Mark Gastineau lays a good lick on Dan Marino after he threw the ball. The ball was slightly underthrown. Had it been out there, it could have been a completion.
Reggie Roby comes on to punt for the second time tonight with 7:47 remaining in the first quarter. And no score from Giant Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And Kirk Springs is back. Roby can do one of 3 things. He can kick that high towering punt and let his coverage get under it, or he can put it out of bounds, which he is very good at, usually to the right. They'll take a long count on a 4th down and 4, looking for the offside. Roby doesn't get the corner, gets the end zone. It'll be a touchback. 40-yard punt with a net of 20. 2 teams have been getting it on for a lot of years, and they really don't like each other. We'll be back. Remarkable athletes I've ever seen. Mark Gastineau, the big man at 6'5", 265. He can do so much. He fractured his thumb in preseason. It is still encased in a cast with padding over that cast. And he has had really a difficult time, but nevertheless he has continued to stay in the games for the Jets. And also, now that he's getting better, has become a force once again. The Jets on 1st and 10. McNeil over the right side. He'll squeak out a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Mike Charles, the nose tackle there, who has replaced Bob Baumauer for the Miami Dolphins, who is on the injured reserve with a bad knee, made the stop.
Well, that's one place I think the Jets should be able to take advantage of. One player. Mike Charles is a good player, but he's not the caliber of the all-pro Bob Baumauer.
Tony Page, Freeman McNeil, the setbacks. McNeil 24, Page, good blocking, setback number 49. O'Brien pressure. O'Brien goes down. The blitz was on, and you don't get it that often from that side. Kim Bokamper came to the inside, actually, the defensive end for the Dolphins, but he'll move up and down that line of scrimmage also. You see it from the upper left side. The former all-pro linebacker. Boy, somebody blew that one. Nobody even put a touch on him. They seem to be concentrating so much on Mike Charles, 2 men on him.
Yeah, I believe it had to be Jim Sweeney, number 53. He did concentrate on Charles and opened up that lane for Bokamper to get through.
A good way to run out of quarterbacks. Third down and 16. The Jets will keep it on the ground. Freeman McNeil. And McNeil hurdles out over the 20-yard line. Well short of the first down, and the punting unit will come on. Glenn Blackwood came up there to make the stop for the Dolphins. Both teams 4-1 in the season, and they both lost their openers. The Jets were blown away 31-0 by the Raiders. In that game, O'Brien, their quarterback, was sacked 10 times. As we look deep to Vince Heflin, the Dolphins with a good opportunity to have good field position. Glenn Blackwood is also back there with Heflin. Here's Dave Jennings. Quite his trade with the Giants for 12 years. They released him to keep Sean Landeta at the beginning of the season. The Jets picked him up the following day, so he just changed locker rooms. Low kick, not a good kick by Jennings. Heflin has to let it bounce, however, and it does take a Jennings and Jet bounce. That ball was kicked so low, Heflin did not want to take the shot to take it on the run. It would have been a gamble. And Heflin lets it roll, and it rolls all the way to the 13-yard line. So Miami will be deep in their own territory. Fired up. They are off on a 4-1 season, and they feel they have the team this year to get back into the playoffs, possibly even going on to the Super Bowl. Frank Gifford along with Joe Namath, O.J. Simpson. Both teams 4-1, and Joe Klecko has went out a short while ago to have some stitches put in his right hand. Is back in the lineup. So is Johnny Lynn, who is in there at strong safety for the Jets. And they need all the men they have available in that secondary, and they need them desperately tonight. This is Tony Nathan. Is running by Nathan. He hurdles out over the 15, close to the 18-yard line for a gain of 5 before he stopped there by Lance Snell. And Tony Nathan, having a typical Tony Nathan year, came into the night with 203 yards rushing and 25 receptions. A year ago, it was just under 600 yards rushing and 61 receptions. They give him a rest every now and then because he is so valuable to this offensive unit. You hear, of course, of the Mark Claytons and the Dan Marinos, the Nat Moores. But Tony Nathan does so much of the work. That's the time remaining in the first quarter. Second down and 5, Lorenzo Hampton. And Hampton scored to the first down inside the 22-yard line.
He's short, but he almost popped that through there. Now, the two areas that Miami wanted to improve the most on is stopping the run by the opposition and running the ball themselves. And thus far tonight, they're doing an excellent job of running it because of this defense confusing Marino. Run the football. That's
Mark Duper, who has a hairline fracture in the tibia of his leg. And they do not know for sure when they're going to get him back. But there's no question he has been missed. Johnny Lynn, as we mentioned, back in the secondary, as is Joe Klecko on the line for the Jets. Third down, it's a long one. This is Davenport, a big youngster from Louisville, and he gets up close to the 25, and that will be a Dolphin first down. Reminder, live 3 o'clock Eastern time with 3:37 remaining in the first quarter from Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands, just across the Hudson River from Manhattan. Jets and the Dolphins, and the Dolphins Marino is back with a lot of time, nowhere to put it, however. He goes down. The first man there was Bennett. And Bennett got help from Gilbo.
Now that's really good team defense. This is what Bud Carson wants. The secondary did a job covering the receivers, and Marino just couldn't find anyone open, and he got the pressure from Bennett.
You wonder, Joe, why Bud Carson has been around the league. Of course, he's the guy that was instrumental in the Iron Curtain of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. He also coached the Rams when they went to the Super Bowl. If you take a good look at number 73, Joe Klecko, how he lines up on that center, he looks just like Joe Green. Cop to the side.
Second down and 20 at the 15-yard line. up the middle, and it's a flooding Jet defense. Closing off the middle. Tony Nathan could get nothing. It'll be third in long yardage.
You know, these Jets, they really like Bud Carson. They've nicknamed him the Wizard. And he comes up with different twists every week, and that helps keep the Jets alert. They tell me they're doing more playbook studying than even film watching at this stage.
Of course, they were a 4-3 team a year ago. And it's a dramatic change. There's a lot more thinking to it, certainly in the Bud Carson defense. Third down, long yardage. Marino at the 15-yard line from the shotgun. Again in trouble. And this time Marino just throws it deep downfield. Matt Moore was down there, but Marino did not want to throw in the crowd. He just got rid of it. And so the Jets fans are appreciative of a fine defensive performance.
I'll tell you an interesting thing on that play. That was Matt Moore going for that ball. If that was Mark Cooper with the overdrive speed that he has, he would have had an opportunity of catching up to that ball.
Ooh, he must be fast.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Speed kill.
Reggie Roby and Kirk Springs, respecting Roby, is all the way back to the Jets' 35-yard line, and Roby will deliver this from about his own 5-yard line. Almost blocked. And that's a great kick by Roby. You see why Springs has to respect Roby. He took that at the 23. And he's got an open field. Flag is down. That probably will be clipping. That was almost blocked by Bruckner, and then Springs almost broke it. And what an anticlimax, because the flag is dropped at the Jets' 37-yard line.
I think I saw the clipping call, but it sure was close.
You know, I was talking with Weave Eubank yesterday, and one thing really frustrates Weave about ball players, and that's clipping.
Illegal block. Number 20 of the receivers. That penalty is declined. Illegal block. Number 52 of the receivers, and that penalty will be enforced.
You know, Weave says, heck, these guys know since they've started playing football, they're not allowed to block a player in his back. This was nearly a blocked punt. Boy,
That's
whatever.
Bruckner there. He almost got it. Davin Mullen just activated today. There he is. Top of your screen, you'll see it. This is Springs. Well, maybe he needed the block.
I don't believe that. That's really a stupidity. I don't know. Guys play football since they're in Little League and junior high. They know they're not supposed to block a man with his back to him.
Perhaps just activated today. Mullen just a little eager. So the Jets have a fine return by Springs nullified. First and 10 at their own 27-yard line. O'Brien in and out of the hands of the receiver. It is Wesley Walker. It'll be second down and 10. Paul Langford defensively there for the Miami Dolphins, and the Dolphins have again lost Don McNeil to an injury. He missed all of 83 with an Achilles tendon over at the left cornerback spot. Missed part of last year with the knee, and once again he's on IR, and Paul Langford is filling in over at the left cornerback spot for the injured Don McNeil. 1:48 remaining in the first quarter, and there's still no score. O'Brien hands off to McNeil, and McNeil turns back inside, runs right into Doug Betters. Maybe gets a yard out of it. It'll put O'Brien in a third and long situation once again. It's Joe Flacco, and he, I think, was, well, maybe Joe Walton said it the best today. He was born to be a nose tackle. Big, strong, powerful man who sits in there. Actually played a little over in the Pro Bowl when Bob Baumauer couldn't go last year from the Miami Dolphins. It was also when Mark Gastineau discovered that he could work into the 3-4. He was the MVP of that game with 4 sacks and a safety. So the 3-4 has worked out well for the Jets defensive unit, but their offensive unit is looking at a 3rd and 8. O'Brien, Mickey Schuler comes down with a one-handed grab near midfield at the 49-yard line, and the Jets leading receiver Mickey Shula gets them out of trouble.
And that's an example what their offensive coach coordinator Richie Kotite has to say about Mickey Shula. He says he's the best game player he has ever seen. He gets hyped up for the games and plays better than anyone else. Here you see Mickey taking, at the bottom of your screen, an outside release and running a corner pattern, getting behind the defender and making a terrific catch.
Good little move he put on Robert Soule to the inside. That held him for a moment. He was able to get open, and a well-thrown ball by O'Brien. First down, Jets near their own 49. McNeil, O.J., had he kept his feet, he could have got much more.
Yeah, he turned up. I thought he was turning up a little slowly earlier in the game. He did the right turn up on that job and on that run. I can't say enough about the job that this Jet offensive line is doing thus far. They're giving O'Brien the time to run, and they're opening up holes.
You know,
I was going to say the one game they lost this year, Joe, to the Raiders is because Reggie McElroy and Marvin Powell were out. They were missing. They were holdouts.
Second down, a long 3. McNeil, they continue to work the right side. McNeil tries to spin back out, take it around the left side, and he is dropped for a loss. Close to the 45-yard line. Sanders, Shiver, and Mike Charles were there defensively as we tick off the final seconds here in the first quarter. So what we thought was going to be an offensive show here this evening, certainly on the part of the Dolphins, has not materialized. And we have a scoreless first quarter in a hard-hitting game between the Jets and the Miami Dolphins. Both of them 4-1 atop of the AFC East. Sports Exclusive is being brought to you by Nissan, builders of technologically advanced cars and trucks for over 50 years. We begin the second quarter. The Jets and the Miami Dolphins. The Jets on the move. They have a 3rd down and 5 inside the 46-yard line of the Dolphins. Max Moore has come in, replacing Kim Bocamper, who went to the sidelines and injured Miami Dolphins. O'Brien has the time. It's the ball to Stone, and Kurt Stone will have first down yardage inside the 35-yard line. Kurt Stone has really come along this year. Wesley Walker was only activated a week ago. Lamb Jones has been out all season long, and Kurt Stone has had an opportunity. He's healthy. Knee problems for the past couple of years, but this is his 22nd reception of the season. And he gets it right in front of Jets, and then gets a Jet first down at the 34-yard line. 12-yard pickup. Shula on the move. And this is Freeman McNeil. And McNeil spins around in the traffic, and he gets yardage when it looked like he was going to get nothing. Down close to the 26-yard line. Nice pickup by Freeman McNeil. Paul Langford finally made the stop. Shula out there blocking in front of Freeman McNeil. Gain of 8 yards. He does that. He is so quick, Freeman McNeil. When he is healthy, he is something very special.
And he is much quicker this year and a little stronger. They said he's never worked harder on the offseason. He's lost a little weight. He's down to about 210 pounds from what normally would be 218 for him.
Second down, just about 3 yards as O'Brien looks it over. McNeil again. They continue to work the right side, and McNeil breaks it big and almost accelerates into the end zone. He's down close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. Again, good running by Freeman McNeil. Let's watch him again. He had over 1,000 yards a year ago and missed 4 games with rib injuries, but reads the block so well and gets a good block out in front.
All you need is to give a back like McNeil room, and Marvin Powell and the rest of that right side gave him plenty of room at the line of scrimmage, and he just turned up field and picked his way down to the 6-yard line.
The Jets on the move. They have a first down, goal to go. The word is on Kim Bocamper. A jam neck. They expect he will be back. Meanwhile, Matt Moore stays on for the Dolphins of defense, replacing Bocamper. McNeil right side, trying to get over Marvin Powell once again. You could hear it up here. Nothing happening there. They close it down. George Little, the rookie out of Iowa, number 99, was in there along with Duck Betters, providing the stop. Head coach Joe Walton, old teammate of mine from Giants days, now in his 3rd year with the Jets. Has put together 2 7-9 seasons. Has changed the character of this team dramatically. Made a lot of trades. He's molded his team in his own image. And he expects big things this year. Second down, goal to go. Timing, pattern. No. It was JoJo Townsville, the USFL Express player who joined the Jets this season, and a former 3rd-round draft pick of the Jets 3 years ago. Now he goes up for it. Got to come down with both those feet in bounds. Good pass by O'Brien. It looked like it was going to be good. You got to have both of them in bounds when you come down, and he did not.
Well, he had a legitimate argument there, too. William Judson had his right arm on him, and he could have forced Townsend to land out of bounds. That's what Townsend was trying to tell the official. Judson hit him.
Depends on whether you're arguing with Jets fans or Dolphin fans.
That's right.
Big night for Joe Namath. At halftime, we'll be bringing you the presentation of his Hall of Fame ring, the retirement of his number 12 that he wore from 1965 to 76. And, of course, Deborah Namath is also with us. That's hard to believe. She had little Jessica Grace on Saturday, who checked in at 7 pounds 9 ounces. So the man on the right, Mr. Namath, has been busy.
Well, Deborah, she wanted that child to be born on the 12th. And, oh, my goodness.
Whatever in there is moving.
I think it was a bird. The word is that we got either a bird that was injured or a dead bird and was taken off the field. That's why we were held up. We're in the second quarter. No score, but the Jets are threatening. They have a third down goal to go. They're at the 5-yard line of the Dolphins. Ken O'Brien, ranked 5th in the AFC. As a quarterback, will put it in the air. Timing it out once again. And again, it's incomplete. This time, a timing pattern with Al Toon, the rookie from Wisconsin. And we'll see the field goal unit. Well, when you don't get it down in there, when you have a first down goal to go, that's what happens to the coaches.
Well, there's nothing new about Miami stopping teams down close. All my years with Buffalo, we played them twice a year, and it was our understanding, our philosophy that once we got around the 20-yard line, we must throw for the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the tougher Miami is.
Leahy, a 22-yard attempt to break the scoreless deadlock. Take the lead, 3-0. But you better believe they would have loved to have had 6. They had a first down goal to go at the 6-yard line on good running by McNeil, but they couldn't get it in. But put Lorenzo Hampton, the rookie, number 1 draft pick from Florida, deep to take the kick from Pat Leahy. The Dolphins have 32 yards of offense in the first quarter. They have 13 yards passing, as Marino is 3 of 7. Surprisingly strong defensive effort by the Jets. This is Lyle Blackwood. Blackwood hit at the 22 and driven all the way back to the 20-yard line. And Marino traps the offensive unit back out one more time.
Oh, Lyle's a little too old to be running those kickoffs back, and he sure was looking for someone to ladle the ball to.
Kickoff team players need a lot of help from their friends. Hard to imagine if you've ever been down there on special teams how noisy it is. There is grunting, thudding, collision. A lot of references to your ancestry. First down and 10. The ball just out over the 20-yard line. Marino up on top again. Fires and it's incomplete. Gilbo was back there, the linebacker, in front of the intended receiver, Nat Moore. It'll be second down and 10. And now, penalty will be marked against the Dolphins. Annually, the Dolphins are one of the least penalized teams in all of football. And Don Shula is very proud of that. Talks about it frequently. Now the Dolphins are backed up all the way to the 10-yard line. Ronnie Lee, the right guard, the guilty Dolphin. As you saw in the wide shot, Mark Gastineau exhorting the crowd. He jumps up and down, tries to get them into the game, and they don't take much encouragement. First down and 20. Hampton is driven back, and the crowd now is really fired up at the urging of Gastineau. Lance Mel made the stop. Hampton got about 3, getting up close to the 15-yard line. It'll be second down and 16.
Joe, I think the most surprising thing to me about this Jet defense is They're putting pressure on Marino, and they're only rushing for the most part. They're 3 down linemen. They aren't blitzing much.
Well, you know, Joe Klecko is making a world of difference in that middle. He is so strong putting pressure up the middle. It's helping the other guys from the outside get back there.
Nat Moore goes to the right. Mark Clayton up at the top of your screen. We've heard nothing from Mark Clayton tonight. Marino. Gastineau was pursuing Marino out of the pocket. That's Clayton. And Clayton comes down with the ball at the 28-yard line. He's short of first down yardage, even though it was indicated. Here's Gastineau in hot pursuit of Marino. And he gets a shot by Bruce Hardy, the tight end, coming back on Gastineau. And that's what we said earlier. They're keeping one of those tight ends in, trying to pick up a defense that is dramatically different than what they faced in previous years when the Jets would line up in their 4-3. Buddy Carson's defense from the 3-4, it brings people from everywhere.
I was surprised to see Marino roll out that last time. The Jets have him doing things he doesn't normally do.
Third down and a long one. Davenport. And the big one from Louisville gets the first down after the 33-yard line. That's good offense. They had a first down and 20. They got a shot to Clayton for some of it. And they send Davenport over the middle for the first down.
I'll tell you an interesting stat on the Jets. They've had 12 third and ones against them this year, and on all 12 occasions, the opponent was able to get the first down. So they need some work in that short yardage situation.
Need to fine-tune that 3-4. They picked up 2 more tonight. So it's 14. First and 10. Marino gets it to Clayton. Clayton will have a first down at the 45-yard line. He was battling Russell Carter. He was in Carter's arms when he came down. 12-yard pickup by the man who set all kinds of records a year ago, certainly Dolphin records, with nearly 1,400 yards and 18 touchdown passes. And here he is dueling with Russell Carter.
Well, they could have called Russell for a little pass interference. Russell may have hit him a little bit early there, but Mark did a heck of a job holding on to the pass. I don't know why he's complaining.
Pass interference is vastly different this year than it has been in the past. I kind of like it that way. Mark Clayton, good to the right, Nat Moore to the left. Tony Nathan. And Nathan is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Nathan goes down. Good, strong defensive play, Rusty Gilbo. And the Bears and Walter Payton, Jim McMahon, they did it again yesterday. They knocked off the 49ers. Out at Candlestick Park, we're going to watch the Bears go against the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers back on stride at 3-3 with Glenn Dickey getting over a hand problem. So we'll be there, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Soldier Field in Chicago, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Be with us. Rapidly moving game. Nearly 7 minutes have expired here in the second quarter. Marino, second and long. Incomplete. Clayton had it in the hands and doesn't hold on.
That defense of the Jets is doing some job. I'm telling you, they have Dan Marino doing things he doesn't want to do, going to the right and going to the left. He doesn't like to leave the pocket.
That's the most agile coming out of there, Joe, and it really does throw your rhythm off. I would suspect what they like to get him to do. They like to have him that 1, 2, 3 pop. The deep man isn't there, or the long man. He throws somebody to go underneath, but he's been looking at Jets all night.
I think old Dan's going to do a little talking to his offensive line and say, come on, fellas, let's keep these Jets off me. That's all he can do. He has to get the offensive line doing the job.
Third and 13. Marino wants to change it. Hard to do with this crowd. Hangs it up. Clayton tries to deceive Bobby Jackson. Now Clayton is angry. He wants a pass interference call. He will not get it. And the Dolphins don't have all the circus working for them now. That's Bobby Jackson. Clayton did the wise thing. He tried to throw Jackson off by not letting him know the ball was arriving, but Jackson did have his hands on Clayton. Rebby Rhodes beat a punt. Kurt Springs is back to the Jets. He'll position himself near the 12-yard line. Flag is down as Roby pounds one all the way to the 12-yard line where the fair catch is made by Springs, but a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Once again, the referee tonight is Red Cashin. Procedure that always works against the kicking team. So the Jets will have another opportunity to run one back. Don Shula, not at all happy with the way things have been swinging tonight. Jets defense pressing the Miami Dolphins offense.
Illegal formation by the kicker. Still fourth down.
Well, the illegal formation in this case can only mean one thing, and that is they didn't have enough fellas on the line of scrimmage. You have to have at least 7 offensive linemen on the line of scrimmage. You can have as many as 10, but you're not allowed to have less than 7.
Which means they kick again. From 5 yards farther back. Springs now close to his 12-yard line. A lot of respect for Reggie Roby. Doesn't turn over, but he just powers it to the 21-yard line. Not a good Roby kick, and Springs will bring it all the way out to the 35-yard line. Roby could not turn it over. He's unhappy. So the Jets, rather than having the ball at the 12-yard line, they get the penalty. They have to kick again, and Springs moves it out to the 36-yard line. And once again, tempers are flaring. We have timeout, and we'll be right back. And Marino on the sidelines might well be asking his offensive teammates, what's happening out there? They have been chasing him all over Giant Stadium. Meanwhile, the Jets with a 3-point lead, 8:20 remaining in the first half. Have a 1st and 10. The ball inside their own 36-yard line. O'Brien, good play action. Wants to go deep. Nothing happening there. So he goes underneath. Kirk Stone comes down with a first down in the 43-yard line of the Dolphins in the arms of William Judson. A lot of time that time for O'Brien. He wanted to go deep. And Walker was not open. Checked off. Gets it to zone. First down Jets.
Well, they've been running the ball early on first down, and this is a good play-action fake that held the defensive line. So O'Brien had time, and he kept his cool. He came probably to his 4th receiver that time. He checked 3 other receivers, and they were covered before he went to zone.
The Jets in Dolphin territory once again. They're at the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. McNeil, they continue to work the right side behind big Marvin Powell. Got a good block from Tony Page out front, and Freeman rips off 5 yards. Tony Page, the lead blocker for McNeil, who has already picked up 60 yards.
Might add that this is Tony Page's birthday tonight. Tony asked me to be sure to tell everyone that it's his 23rd birthday. Nice going, Tony, and happy birthday.
Tough second-year man out of Virginia Tech. It'll be 2nd down and a long 5. Jackie Shipp has come to the sidelines, and Jay Brophy has come in, number 53. And there's birthday Tony Page. This time they work Page. He maybe squeaks a yard out of it. It'll be 3rd down and a long 4 for the Jets.
Well, the Jets tried to fool the Dolphins that time. They had some success earlier with the pitch out to Freeman McNeil around the right end. So O'Brien faked the pitch and tried to give it to Tony up the middle, but the Dolphins didn't get fooled.
Bo Camper comes back in defensively for the Dolphins as O'Brien is confronted with a 3rd down and 4. That's the time remaining in the first half. Hard hitting. Primarily a defensive game. The Jets have been able to mount a couple of drives, but they haven't been able to get it in. O'Brien puts it up, and a good play by William Judson against Wesley Walker. And that'll bring up 4th down. You'll see it from the reverse angle. That's why we like this camera so much. You really can not see it from this side of the field. Now we flip it over, show you from the camera on the opposite side of the field, and you see exactly what happened. Judson side to side with Walker. Pass underthrown a little bit because Wesley Walker can really fly and allow Judson the time to get there and make the play. Jennings will punt.
That's the first 4 pass I've seen Ken O'Brien throw tonight. Had he had it out in front, that could have been 6.
Jets with Pat Leahy unable to attempt a 55-yard field goal, and that would be the distance, so they have Jennings on. into the punt. And the Jets are down there, and the play is made near the 1-yard line. It was Bobby Humphrey, a great special teams player for the Jets, who was down there along with Rocky Cleaver. And the Dolphins are in deep trouble at the 1. Seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
Channel 4, WTAE-TV, Pittsburgh.
Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins has had a tough night tonight. He is 5 of 11, 39 yards. The Dolphins have only been able to negotiate 63 total yards of offense with a swarming Jets defense. The Jets out of a 3-4 coming from all over the lot. They drop into a 4-3 on many occasions, and thus far they seemingly have really confused the Miami Dolphins offense. The Dolphins at their 1-yard line. Marino out to Tony Nathan, who slips. Down he goes. He picks up one. Lance Snell defensively. Number 56 was there to make sure.
You know, I like passing the football from your own end zone from time to time, but the dangerous thing about this, if your offensive linemen get called for holding down here, it's 2 points the other way, and you have to punt the ball to the other team.
3 tight ends now are in for the Dolphins, which would lead one to suspect they might be going to play it a little more conservative. And they will. They'll put it on the ground. And Davenport works the right side out over the 5-yard line, close to the 7. It'll be 3rd down and 5 as the rookie from Louisville found a little bit of a crack. Pop through.
You know, watching Marino this first half, I have to believe that Dan's really not confused out there. I think the Jets are just outplaying the Dolphins man for man. Marino has seen all of the coverages in the NFL. This year he's reading defenses better than ever, throwing to the short receivers.
He may not be confused, but I think all his offensive linemen are confused.
They're down 5. The blitz is on. And almost coming down with it was Bobby Jackson. It was intended for Clayton, and 2 flags are down. One is down upfield where Jackson and Clayton were dueling, and one is down at the line of scrimmage. Dolphins. Bobby Jackson against Mark Clayton was called for the interference. So they do it again. This crowd is into every play. The Jets have not beaten the Dolphins in the last 7 meetings. Going all the way back to the 82 AFC Championship game. They lead 3-0. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the first half in a tough-hitting football game. Marino from the end zone. Fires to Hardy, and Hardy goes down as a flag goes down. But Hardy has first down yardage to the 19. Lance Snell defensively on the stop. But again, another flag is down against the Jets. Hardy had a big game a week ago in the win over the Steelers with 7 receptions.
Holding before the pass was thrown. Number 35 on the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Glenn, the rookie, holding before the pass was thrown. Rookie from Minnesota. Joe Walton. So Hardy makes a clutch catch to the 19-yard line for a Dolphin first down. Davenport hit hard and then just surges forward with a bit of a second effort. He still will lose a yard, and there is some kind of smashing going on there. That was Kyle Clifton, second-year man out of TCU, third-round draft pick, who became a starter a year ago. And he is really a good, hard-hitting linebacker.
And 6'4" and 233. He carries some weight, huh?
That all-rookie team primarily against the Dolphins. Second and 10. Marino. The blitz is on. Pressure again. He has to roll out. But he gets it to Clayton. And Clayton stays on his feet. And then is hammered at the 34-yard line. Bobby Jackson. But I know that Marino did not like what he had to do once again. We're going to look at Clayton, and at this point, Marino had to roll out of that pocket.
Yeah, Dan doesn't like leaving the pocket, but he's smart. Dan has really got a lot of experience these last 2 years, 3 years, and he's going to keep his cool in a game like this.
Bobby Jackson takes Clayton after his second shot at the 34-yard line, but the Dolphins, who had a first and 10 at their own 1-yard line, have worked it out to their own 34. Inside 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Marino did everything but catch it for Mark Clayton. It's incomplete.
Okay, a lot of people talk about Dan Marino's release. What impresses me is not only how fast it is, but how quickly he coordinates finding a receiver with his eyes and being able to get the ball to him. He does have a quick release, but he's really good at finding the receivers. He moves that head around like it's, well, I don't know, on a pivot or something. What am I trying to say, Frank?
Well, I think you're being modest. There's so many people have compared the release of Dan Marino to that of Joe Namath. It's a flick of the wrist, and they can put it up there about 50 or 60 yards. You can't do it anymore, but you used to do it. We're going to look at a little bit of footage at halftime. Second and 10. Lorenzo Hampton. And the rookie from Florida works the left side. Good effort. He'll get 3 out of that. When he was hit at the line of scrimmage, he might squeak 4. He'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
I think this Lorenzo Hampton is going to do a lot for the running game in Miami. Tony Nathan is an excellent back. He runs well inside. He catches the ball well, but they haven't had a breakaway runner out of the backfield since Delvin Williams. And this Lorenzo Hampton shows every indication that he could be that breakaway runner.
And he was a good receiver at Florida with nearly 60 receptions over his career, so he's a little bit like Tony Nathan. Maybe a little larger. 3rd and 6 now for Marino. Marino again under pressure, tries to get it to Nat Moore, and he can't hold on. As again, a jet was right in the face of Marino, and the Jets are coming from all angles. And the offensive line of the Dolphins still remains, I think, confused. They're going to have to go to the drawing board at halftime.
They will go to the drawing board at halftime, but I think Don Shula and the Dolphins should feel fortunate. They've been totally dominated by the offense and defensive lines of the Jets, and they're only down 3-0.
Reggie Roby on once again. That's certainly true. The Jets had a first down goal to go at the 6th. Roby. Kirk Springs at the 13-yard line. So the Jets will have a first down at the 15. And Miami was shut out in the first half against Kansas City earlier this season. They came back and scored 31 in the second half. So when they put it back together, they are rather effective. The flag is down at midfield.
Illegally man downfield. Number 30 of the kickers holding. Number 20 of the receivers. They offset. Will replay 4th down.
Mullen of the Jets. Davenport of the Dolphins offsetting. And they'll kick it again, but we are inside the 2 minutes.
I saw Don Shula turn to Ron Davenport, his rookie from Louisville, have a few words to him, and I noticed Davenport now is on the sideline sitting on the bench.
And we're going to get the 2-minute warning. The Jets lead the Dolphins, both of them 4-1 in the AFC East. Both have 3 timeouts. We'll be right over 300 yards passing thus far this season. Tonight, they have thrown the ball with 1:54 remaining in the first half for 56 yards. Their combined offense, rushing and passing, 100 yards. Not what they had planned. Roby on to punt again, following the offsetting fouls. Kirk Springs of the Jets back at the 13-yard line of the Jets. They try to pressure Roby, and it does not turn over, and Springs will take it at the 25. Springs out to the 32-yard line, hit there by Harvard Sowell. Baseball's main event, the World Series. Timeout, pretty good field position. We'll see what Joe Walton has decided. He's at the 33-yard line. They won points. O'Brien dodges one Dolphin, and he fires, and it's complete. That's Rocky Cleaver, second tight end who was in that lineup, and he gets a first down at midfield. And now the Jets can think very positively about hanging up more points. Draw play to McNeil. It works well. The Dolphins thinking pass came on the rush. The draw play effective for a 7-yard pickup. It'll be hurry-up offense now on the part of O'Brien. Second ticking away, 1:05, and the clock is moving, as you can see. Second and 2. O'Neal. That's McNeil. He's wide open. Steps out of bounds. Stops the clock at the 30-yard line with a Jet first down. And they save a timeout with 58 seconds remaining in the half.
We were talking about this a few weeks ago, Frank, about calling all of your hurry-up offensive plays at once. On that series, the Jets had 3 plays already called.
And they get the first down at the 30-yard line. The Brain Trust on the sidelines, headed by Joe Walton, who calls the plays from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, the home of Joe Namath. They played for the same high school.
I used to watch him play when he was in high school.
All kinds of interlinking things here tonight. Don Shula and Joe Walton played in the same defensive secondary with the Washington Redskins. That back in 1957. First and 10, the Jets. Freeman McNeil. They work the right side as they have all night. Behind Big Marvin Powell and Freeman McNeil squeezes out 4 to bring up second and 6. Mark Brown defensively and Glenn Blackwood were there for the Dolphins. 40 seconds. They're within Leahy's field goal range. O'Brien, Mickey Schuler's wide open. And he carries the Dolphin defender, Glenn Blackwood, out of bounds, stopping the clock.
Why would they not stop the clock? He ran out of bounds.
Well, they said his forward progress had stopped.
He was running. He could have turned upfield a little more. How did they know it was
carrying Glenn Blackwood with him?
That was a bad call.
And a deliberate effort to get out of bounds. And Schuler is upset. Joe Walton is upset. But they do call timeout.
I'm upset myself with that one, Frank.
Well, you're an old Jet, Joe. Now, they're getting paid to determine if his forward progress has stopped. It appears right here that
he's running.
Yeah, he's running out of bounds sideways.
He could have broken the tackle.
You wish.
The Jets use one timeout. They have 2 remaining. They have 28 seconds. Joe Walton has already had his discussion. O'Brien is checked back in. Don Shula is totally frustrated. His offensive line has had difficulty throughout the entire first half. The blitzes are coming from all angles. They look as if they were totally unprepared for what happened to them here in the first half offensively. And now the defensive unit is about to put the Jets in, certainly in potential field goal range already, that they could give up the 6 big ones, as the Jets have just marched right down the field. Time remaining in the first half. Hector and McNeil are both in there for the Jets. O'Brien. JoJo Townsend. He goes out of bounds, stops the clock near the 3-yard line. 22 seconds remaining. Crowd is really into this one. There he is. They call him a rookie, but he had 3 fine seasons with the Express of the USFL. 126 receptions over that 3-year period. The Jets originally drafted him 3 years ago out of UCLA, where he set a lot of records out there. He thought the combination of Lamb Jones and Wesley Walker was too tough to deal with, so he went to the Express. This is Johnny Hector. They like to work him down there. Reaches for the goal line. There is no indication. And the Jets stop the clock with 13 seconds. They're inside the 1-yard line. They're down to 1 timeout. And you can cut it with a knife here at Giant Stadium.
When you're headed for a tricky job, don't take chances with your tools.
You're doing it right.
Rely on Stanley quality.
Remaining in the first half. The Jets over the Dolphins 3-0. As you can see, the second-year man for Virginia Tech, Tony Page, has carried it 5 times when the Jets have been inside 5-yard line. He's been into the end zone 3 of those 5 times. They also like Johnny Hector down here. Very strong. Page now single setback. Struggles, tries to get inside. He was hit in the backfield. Sewell, free agent that came up in '83 from Howard, made the first contact, and Sewell has stopped the Jets' attack at the 1-yard line. And there are no timeouts remaining now. 3 seconds, we'll see the field goal unit come on the field for the Jets. Joe Walton once again is Simon and O.J. I will now pick up on what you said. As bad as the Dolphins have been outplayed, they have got to feel awfully good getting out of this half with what looks to be potentially 6 points.
And as we spoke of earlier, the Miami Dolphins are the toughest team in football. This is just not this year. Historically, and trying to score on down close. When you get around the 20-yard line against this team, you better start thinking about throwing the ball into the end zone.
Don Shula, he's been watching it for 23 years as the head coach on the sidelines. Remarkable stat of Don Shula, the third winningest coach of all time behind Hallis and only 2 games behind Tom Landry, is that in all those 23 years he's had 1 losing season. And the 5 Super Bowls, won a couple of them.
Not with 3 seconds. That has left more time on the clock and thrown it away.
18-yard attempt for Leahy.
You're referring to a fake field goal, huh, Joe?
Yeah, I don't think they'll fake it. They don't have enough time to come back on 4th down and kick it.
Putting me upright. And Leahy makes it 6-0. And the crowd, I think, just as frustrated as Joe Walton. 2 times they have had first down, goal to go from in close. 1 at the 6-yard line, 1 at the 3-yard line. And each time, the Miami Dolphins defense has forced them to settle for 3. There's 1 second remaining in the first half, so we will have the kickoff.
Yeah, Joe, your Jet fans are tough. They came into this game hoping to make a game of it. They're up 6-0 at halftime, or just about halftime, and they're booing the Jets.
Yeah, they wanted 6 points down there. You know, we referred to possibly using a fake field goal attempt that time. If the Jets had called timeout earlier, say with 8 or 9 seconds left on the clock, on 3rd down, they could have faked the field goal and simply thrown the ball away if the play wasn't there. But they let too much time run off the clock without, obviously, they didn't have any intentions of faking it.
So what would you call that, Joe?
I would have, hindsight, looking back at it, I'd call it a bad call. I think we should have called timeout earlier. They had 3rd down to make a fake on it and throw the ball away.
Coaching, huh?
Deep now is Lorenzo Hampton. And Pat Leahy will kick off for the Jets, as I mentioned a moment ago. 1 second remaining in the first half. Surprising game thus far. You've joined us late or something. Has been dominated by the Jets. Marino and the Miami Dolphin offense has not done much. They've gained 100 yards. The Jets have gained a couple hundred. Leahy drills it along the ground, and Hampton will bring it out. And Hampton to the 25-yard line, and that will be the end of the first half. And the Jets players get an ovation. He is being presented his Hall of Fame ring. Joe Namath, the 1965 to 76. Well, he was a bigger than life sports legend here in New York. And when the pass used to be part of the game instead of the dominant part of the game, Joe Namath was doing things like this. Everything went his way. Little Eddie Bell took that one in. 1 of 6 touchdown passes as Joe Namath in 1972 passed for just about 500 yards against the Baltimore Colts. It was a late-night statement, however, in January of 1969 that set the sports world abuzz. Namath with a flat prediction of victory over the highly favored Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III put both the Jets and themselves squarely on the line. The statement in 16-7 win, the Jets over Baltimore, and it did more for an AFL-NFL merger than any one single event. Joe Namath on the field. Let's pick up the stadium announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to now direct your attention to the 50-yard line as we introduce Pete Elliott, the director of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor on behalf of the Pro Football Hall of Fame to present the special Hall of Fame ring to one of the greatest players that ever played the game, Joe Namath.
And now, representing the New York Jets, Dr. James A. Nicholas, the Jets orthopedic surgeon for the past 26 years.
Joe, I on behalf of all of the New York Jets organization, the owners, the staff, the players, and all you fans, it gives me a wonderful pleasure to present to you this gift commemorating this special weekend and evening. Joe, thanks for the memories. Thanks for the fun. Thanks for the thrills. And God bless you again. Thanks for the memories.
The former head coach and general manager of the Jets and a member of the Hall of Fame, the only man to win world championships in 2 leagues, Weave Eubank.
Thank you. All of you great fans here tonight, and those of you watching and listening at home. It is a great honor bestowed upon me to represent the New York Jets organization at this moment. I watched Joe Namath come to us from Alabama and Coach Bear Bryant as a gifted player, and I saw him develop into a champion and a Hall of Famer. I watched him grow and mature as a leader and a person, and now into a fine husband and a proud father. It is with great feeling and pleasure that tonight a number is retired for the first time in the history of the Jets. It is a number that will always be remembered, not only by the Jet fans, but by football fans throughout America. Joe, a number that you wore so proudly and made so famous, number 12. Thank you so much. All
you. I would like to thank the New York management. All right. Thank you. These guys down here are getting ready to play. We have the lead, so we'll get them going in the second half. I would like to thank, first of all, Pete Elliott and the Hall of Fame for seeing fit to induct old Joe into the Hall of Fame. I would like to thank Mr. Hess and the entire New York Jet organization. No, don't boo. He's trying to do the right thing, I promise you. He wants to win her as much as we do or more. I would like to thank Mr. Hess and the Jets. For the 12 years that I worked for them, I had a heck of a time. This honor, I promise you, is not an individual honor. Being inducted into the Hall of Fame and retiring number 12, well, this came about because of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. I want to thank my teammates, Boozer, Snell, Mathis, Smith, all the guys. They're the reason that I'm here tonight. They're the reason we're all here tonight. Those are the fellows I want to thank. I want to thank the good Lord for giving us all the health to be out here and sharing this together. Remember, number 12, in spirit and in heart, I'll always be with the Jets. Thank you, New York Jet fans.
Stuff. Even Joe couldn't quiet the appreciative crowd. And what an appreciative crowd indeed. Very moving ceremony. And what a week for Joe Namath. The number's retired, the ring's on the finger, and he has a new baby daughter. I watched Ken O'Brien watching Joe Namath as Ken O'Brien awaited the opportunity to come back on the field, and you have to wonder what might be going through his mind. Maybe somewhere down the line, that's for me. Tremendous outpouring of warmth and affection for Joe Namath here at halftime of the Jets-Miami Dolphin game. And meanwhile, back to reality, Dan Marino has had a tough first half. 8 of 16, 67 yards, but perhaps even more important, he avoided several sacks by rolling out of the pocket. They don't like him to do that. Claude Reves kicks off for the Dolphins, and he puts it through the end zone, and the Jets will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Meanwhile, Freeman McNeil has represented much of the offense. An offense has sputtered each time they got down close. They had 2 first down goals to go. They could not get it in. They settled for 3 on each occasion, but Freeman McNeil having a big first half, 74 yards.
Yes, he's past Marcus Allen to lead the AFC in rushing, and he's after James Wilder, who leads all of football in rushing, one of the more underrated backs in the game today.
Ready to go here in the second half. Ken O'Brien leads the way to the line of scrimmage. Tony Page, 49. Freeman McNeil, they are the setback. And O'Brien had a Dolphin right in his face, tried to get it to Townsell. He had to hurry, and it's incomplete.
I don't think the play was designed that way. I think we should have had a man blocking on the outside linebacker, Brzezinski. And Kenny, of course, is off balance, and that's why he made a bad pass.
That's the first quarter. Miami had 2 yards of passing in the first quarter. They didn't improve on that a whole lot through the first half. They have averaged over 300 yards passing in each of their previous 5 games. So the Jets defense has been the total dominant force in the first half of this football game. Second down and 10. Schuler's in motion. This is Freeman McNeil. Slips, falls. He got a block from Page, tried to make the cut behind it. Slips, down he goes at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10. But you have to wonder when the explosion is going to come. Kansas City had this Dolphin team shut out in the first half. That was a scoreless tie. The Jets came back, exploded to make it 31-0. That win over Kansas City. And there is a graphic that is up to date. Wilder leading in the NFL. Dorsett's right there, and you can see Freeman McNeil is getting very close. Third and long. O'Brien, a lot of time, and Schuler is open, and he'll have a first down out close to the 32-yard line. Again, good time for O'Brien.
Excellent pass protection by the offensive line of the Jets. Joe Fields is doing some job on the nose man here. O'Brien again kept his cool back there. He kept very calm and threw a strike, of course, to Mickey Schuler. John Swain had coverage on Schuler, and John slipped and fell. Good pass protection by the Jets.
And nose tackle now is George Little, the rookie from Iowa for the Dolphins. First down, Jets. McNeil. And he is so quick. Spotted a little opening away from where the hole was designed to go. Tracks it back, gets out over the 35 to the 36. There's a gain of 5 on the play. I mentioned he was over 1,000 yards a year ago, and he missed 4 games and played most of the season with damaged ribs. Back in 1982, strike shortened season, Freeman McNeil led the entire NFL in rushing. Second down and 5. The Jets at their own 37-yard line. McNeil. Just a good move to the outside, lower the head, gets the first down. Good running once again.
Great running and excellent offensive line blocking, because McNeil now is just having fun back there. He wanted to cut back. He took a look inside because there was no penetration by the defensive line. He was able to look around, pick the hole he wanted, and he got the first down.
Jets open the second half with a touchback at their own 20-yard line. A couple of first downs. They're out to their 42-yard line. They lead 6-0 over the Miami Dolphins. Both teams 4-1. They're tied in the AFC Eastern Division at the top. O'Brien looks downfield, checks it off to Freeman McNeil. And McNeil will have another Jet first down. This time he's in Dolphin territory near the 46-yard line. 12-yard pickup. Bob Brzezinski had to peel back from his linebacking spot to make the stop.
Well, the reason McNeil is so open here, Glenn Blackwood, a strong safety, was in his own coverage, and he had the short outside. Well, Glenn got hung up with JoJo Townsend, a wide receiver, and went inside. That's why Freeman had so much room out there.
The ball inside the 46 of the Dolphins. The drive continues for the Jets. It began at their 20. This is Johnny Hector. McNeil gets a bit of a breather, but the Jets do not let up on the Dolphins as Hector gets inside the 40-yard line to the 39. He'll get 7 yards out of that. It'll be second down and 3. Johnny Hector, who came up 3 years ago and exploded on the scene for the Jets as a second-round draft pick, then hit with injuries a little bit as we look at Gastineau's broken thumb. And Hector has just picked up 7 yards to make it second down and 3. The Jets have been able to move the ball well on the ground, and that should begin to open up the passing game downfield. O'Brien now 11 of 18, 158 yards. Kurt Zone, and just deflected, tipped away from Kurt Zone. Back there was Bud Brown and Paul Langford.
Well, that was a good defensive play, but once again, Kenny was just a little bit, well, this is an underthrow. He was just a little bit off with the throw. If the ball would have been over the top, well, I'll tell you what, it wasn't as bad as I thought. That was a good defensive play.
By Paul Langford. Again, as we mentioned in the first half, filling in for an injured Don McNeil at the left cornerback for the Dolphins. Third down, 3. The special units come on. Dolphins bring out their pass defensive unit. A couple of extra defensive backs. Jets put JoJo Townsend up at the top of your screen, then put him in motion. Langford was right in O'Brien's face. McNeil wide open. Langford came in the blitz. Freeman McNeil was wide open. Very cool play by Ken O'Brien to get the pass to McNeil.
They've been working that on all week. That's one of the few times you'll see Freeman McNeil in a nickel-type situation. They've been using him more this year because Freeman has developed into a good receiver.
He's always been able to catch the ball. Now that his weight's down, I think he's a better receiver, and you see why number 43, Bud Brown, is still playing in front of Lyle Blackwood, because there's not many safeties that can make that tackle on Freeman McNeil with that much room.
Joe Walton, he always always wanted to call plays when he was a tight end with the Giants. Now he calls every play, and he has done a masterful job in this opening drive here in the second half for the Jets. And McNeil has done a masterful job running the football as he rips it down close to the 16-yard line. Give him 4. It'll be second down and 6, and they're getting big first down plays each time.
Big first down plays, and they're getting down here to the area where the Dolphins have really stopped the Jets. I was talking with Freeman, and he described this Dolphins defense like a vice. They keep tightening up in their aggressive disciplinarians. That's why they're so tough down here.
I would throw to the end zone right now.
Reed, second down and 6. Schiller is in motion. Play action by O'Brien.
O.J. caught it!
Kurt Stone, touchdown Jets.
Bingo!
Kurt Stone, he doesn't have great speed, but he has enough of it, and he beats Paul Langford, and O'Brien was dead solid, perfect on target. Touchdown Jets. And while Joe Walton likes to call plays, so does our man in the booth, the O.J. Jets have not beaten the Dolphins in 7 straight games. And they have not beaten them yet tonight. But you wouldn't know it from the reaction of this crowd. The Jets have a 13-0 lead. At an 80-yard, 11-play drive with a touchdown shot from 15 yards out. A beautifully thrown ball and a good move by Stone against Langford of the Dolphins. Leahy to kick off. You had a quick look at Lorenzo Hampton, the rookie from Florida. Vince Heflin is down. This is Hampton. And Hampton out over the 27-yard line. Heflin lateraling back to Hampton. Let's take a look at Stone. Again, he doesn't have that blazing speed, but talking to Joe Walton today, he said he's a lot faster than you think he is. He just riveted Langford. He got right in his face, gave him a little move to the inside, one quick to the outside, and then drove off that right foot, and O'Brien was letter perfect.
It's hard to believe that this kid Stone has only caught 2 passes in the previous 3 years.
Knee problems. He has had a lot of knee problems. He has slowed him up considerably, but they have had to use him this year because of the injuries to both their 2 wide receivers, Lamb Jones and Wesley Walker. First and 10, the Dolphins. Tony Nathan. And Nathan to the 32-yard line for about 5 yards. It'll be second and 5. And let's take a look at that drive. Drive, of course, engineered with the physical efforts of O'Brien, Freeman McNeil, and the offensive unit, but all the plays called by Joe Walton. And, of course, the 15-yard touchdown pass. Beautiful blend of the run on the part of Freeman McNeil and the passing of O'Brien. Freeman McNeil is having a great night. Second down and 5. The Jets to the 32-yard line. Ron Davenport. And once again, the Jets defense swarms over the Dolphin offense. It'll be third and 5. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our friends all along the line let you know who's bringing you the game.
Channel 4, WTAE-TV, Pittsburgh.
8:40 remaining in the third quarter. Hard-hitting football game. Surprisingly, the Jets out in front of the Miami Dolphins 13-0. But the Dolphins, we know, an explosive football team. The Jets have dominated on defense, swarming all over the Jets offensive unit in the face of Dan Marino throughout the first half. The Dolphins have a third and 5. The ball near their 33-yard line. Again, the pressure. Gastineau with one hand, missing. And Joe Rose cannot hold on. The flag is down. Gastineau is so quick. He was around his man, Cleveland Green, so fast. He might have been offside, but for a big man, he is one of the quickest football machines I've ever seen. Just unbelievable quickness.
Offside, number 99 on the defense, first down.
And yes, he was offside. He tries to guess with that center and quarterback all the time on the snap. And he was around Cleveland Green before Green even could get a shoulder near him. And, of course, he was offside.
Yeah, in track and field, we call it a rolling start.
That gave the Dolphins the first down. Ball in the 38-yard line. Marino apparently trying to change it. The Jets can change defensively also. Clayton and Marino stays very cool in the pocket. He was under tremendous pressure from Pleco. He gets it out to Clayton for a first down. At number 73 from the middle.
Absolutely brilliant pass by Marino. He's off balance, and he's still strong enough to get the ball 40 yards to the outside. I know it's only a 12-yard game, but the ball had to travel 40 to 45 yards. That's impressive.
It really is. All arm. He was being pressured out of the pocket. He just whipped it out there. The first down for the Dolphins. They're near the 48-yard line of the Jets. Jets fans know the Jets were leading in the fourth quarter in their game that was played up here a year ago, a game in which they lost. Hampton brings it down. Good, solid running by Hampton for another Dolphin first down to the 37-yard line. Kirk Springs had to make the stop. Well, you mentioned you have really liked the running of Lorenzo Hampton, O.J. Big, strong, just kicked right through a tackle then.
Well, you know, when I look at a runner, you see if he does the right things, even if he gains a yard or two. Every time he makes a move, he's making the right move, even if he doesn't gain much yards.
This is the Dolphins' deepest penetration of the night. They have a first down. They're inside the Jets' 37-yard line. Gets inside the 35, a gain of a couple. Kyle Clifton was there first, the inside linebacker for the Jets. It'll be second down and 8.
I'm impressed with the Miami offense being so patient. You know, the word's been out over the last 2 years that Dan Marino's not a patient quarterback. He tries to go deep too often. Well, he's certainly showing a lot of patience to me right now.
Of course, those plays sent in from Don Shula from the sidelines to Dan Marino. They have so much confidence in Marino. Pressure again. And it comes down. It's in the arms of tight end Dan Johnson. That ball was deflected. 2 Jets now slow getting up. In fact, 3 Jets were slow getting up. Marino came out of that melee in pretty good shape. Gastineau slow getting up. Johnny Lynn was on a safety blitz. He was hurt coming in to the game tonight. The ball deflected right into the hands of Dan Johnson. And Dan Johnson just about a yard short of the first down. And they continue now to look at Johnny Lynn, who has been having all kinds of problems with injuries. With a very sore thumb. They moved him over to strong safety tonight, a position he has never played. He came on the blitz and was picked up, and he's being looked at now by the medical staff of the Jets. Dan Marino. This has been a tough one for the youngster. He's 11 of 19, 93 yards. But what we found out about him as we prepared last season, we did 3 other games, got to know him during the Super Bowl. Inside, he may not have been around that long, but this is one tough kid.
Dan Constantine Marino. I like that middle name, Constantine. Johnny, see, I hope he's smiling. Come on, Johnny.
I tell you, that deflected reception may be the start of some bad news for you, Joe. How many times have you seen it happen? A freak play like that and the team catches on fire.
I know, and the Dolphins are doing just what they've had to do this series. You know, the Jets take the ball. The Jets take the ball and drive the length of the field for a touchdown. Momentum is completely on the Jets side. Now, the Dolphins are getting the momentum back on their side, which they need desperately at this point. Well, not desperately yet.
And it's not lost upon the offensive coaching staff of the Dolphins that out of the lineup goes Johnny Lynn. In comes Davin Mullen in that secondary. He's just off the injured reserve. Bobby Jackson is still hurting. Kirk Springs is playing out of position. So the Jets are really hurting in the secondary. They have survived tonight because of the strength of a strong pass rush. Good defensive planning by Bud Carson, bringing Jet linebackers at just the right time. But now the Jets could be getting in trouble. Third down, 2. The Dolphins inside the Jets' 29-yard line. Here they come. to Nathan. Nathan out of bounds at the 3. Dan Marino knew he was going to get pounded. The blitz was on. He did not have enough men in to pick it up, but he also knew he could count on reliable Tony Nathan.
Well, Marty Lyons, number 93, I think was trying to hit Nathan, not let him out of the backfield, but obviously he didn't do it, and Tony got out of the backfield clean.
Tony Nathan, he is so reliable. He does it on the ground. He does it as a receiver.
That was a trick defense by the Jets. They had Mark Gastineau lined up as a middle linebacker on that play.
First down, goal to go. The Dolphins, their first serious threat of the evening. On first down, inside handoff, Davenport. And Davenport uses his 230 pounds to pull his way into the end zone. And now the Dolphins have come back. They put their offense back together. They get the drive. And Davenport gets the touchdown.
Now that was a pre-Marino Dolphin drive. Short passes and running the football. That's what we've grown accustomed from this Dolphin team. But Marino's changed things around the last 2 years, and they've gone back to being the old Dolphins on that series.
Also, Joe Walton has gray hairs, and he's getting them from guys jumping offside. That's what kept that drive alive. Gastineau going offside.
Fuad Remain puts the upright, and the Dolphins take it 73 yards. And Ron Davenport takes it in, the rookie from Louisville. It's a different game now. So he led the NFL in kickoff returns. He wears number 84, and he is dangerous from back there. Last year, he was caught 8 times by the kicker. That's an amazing stat. And there is the rookie from Louisville, the 6th-round draft pick that powered in for the Dolphins touchdown. Fuad Remain to kick off. Humphrey is back there with Kirk Spring. Both of them capable of going all the way. Both of them have done that. They kick away from Humphrey. Springs in the end zone. It'll be a touchback. 5:53 remaining in the third quarter. 13-7 the Jets over the Dolphins. On first down, a plan with a lot of time and a lot of talent. And Kurt Stone is the receiver once again for a Jet first down out to the 38-yard line. Your evaluation of O'Brien, Joe?
Rapidly improving, definitely becoming one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and it's going to take work. Quarterbacks do not improve sitting on the bench. But last season when he got to play, and this season he's improving really nicely. They're happy with him. 24th player taken in the 83 draft. Dan Marino was the 27th. O'Brien takes something off of it, puts it underneath to Johnny Hector. And Hector up close to another Jet first down, perhaps a yard short, as Bud Brown drops him near the 47-yard line.
They said Johnny Hector has quick feet. He sure does. On that play, he's an excellent athlete. He's long jumped over 26 feet when he was in college.
We watched him as a rookie when he had a tremendous game early in the season against San Diego. We were up in New England with him. He had another big game, and then he had a series of injuries that slowed him down. And then last year he came back a little bit, had some more injury problems, but he is healthy, and he's a good backup to Freeman McNeil. It's 2nd down and 1. But there's nobody on this Jet team that doesn't quite like this man, and he's having a superb night. McNeil gets another Jet first down to the 44-yard line. Blackwood and Brown, the safeties, making the stop.
After the Cincinnati game, Robert Jackson, the defensive back for Cincinnati, said that McNeil is so quick, he can cut on a dime and give you 9 cents worth of change.
First down. This is Tony Page. And Page, 220, goes to the 36-yard line. And he'll get 8 yards. And they are really ripping the Dolphins defense on first down. They have had themselves in great position for 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 2. And coaches love it.
I tell you, if you had to give a game ball to the Jets now, you would have to give 5 out, and that's to that offensive line.
Agreed. McNeil is 141 combined yards, receiving and rushing. He works again. Flag is down, but McNeil has first down yardage to the 31. The flag is down at the line of scrimmage. eager offensively. And they'll bring that back. The word is on the sidelines that Johnny Lynn, you're looking at him right now, number 29, has a twisted knee, and he may be coming back.
Well, talking with Johnny this past week, he told me his wife Lori is expecting a child within a matter of days now, and he wanted me to say hello to both Lori and Ashley, and good luck.
Lori and Ashley, is that what he's going to name?
Well, that's his first daughter, little Ashley.
Okay.
The first down is canceled for the Jets. That's the Miami 41. They hand off to McNeil, and he gets it back and more. McNeil with the 31 for a Jet first down. And McNeil now slow getting up. The tackle made by Hugh Green. Talked about him earlier, acquired this week from Tampa Bay.
You'll see a nice nifty move by him right here. Dead to right by the big lineman, Doug Betters. Great back like him. Give him this much room. There's no way one man is going to tackle him.
McNeil takes a breather. He has 106 yards on 20 attempts. 71 came in the first half. And the Jets are driving once again. They have the ball at the 31-yard line of the Dolphins. Hector breaks the tackle, and Johnny Hector runs well to the 25-yard line. 6-yard pickup for Hector.
Well, that was all Hector. We talked about him having quick feet, and that run was possible because of his quick feet. Incidentally, McNeil, just as you saw, ran for 106 yards. He's just taken over the lead in rushing this year. He just passed Sammy Wine.
He's averaged 93 yards against the Dolphins in the games that he has played against them. And he has now become the most prolific 100-yard rusher the Dolphins have ever had against them. Second down, call it a long three. McNeil, speaking of quick feet. What a night for McNeil. Out of bounds at the 7-yard line. It'll be first down, goal to go. 17-yard pickup for McNeil. 123 yards on the night. 135 remaining in the third quarter, and he's slow getting up.
The more you run a great back, the tireder he'll get and the better he'll run. This is a classic case of great running and a great job by the offensive line because they didn't allow any penetration, and it gave McNeil the opportunity to pick and choose where he wanted to go.
So he had to put a head fake on one of his own men. Mickey's shoulder, I think he became a spectator that last play. They give him a breather. He's all right. First down, goal to go at the 7-yard line for the Jets. They lead 13-7. Tony Page turns inside, and the Dolphins stiffen at the 5-yard line.
Unfortunately, his third.
Up. And Page currently has popped it up. From out of the pile comes the Dolphins. Now, what do they call? Got a get-together with Red Cashin and his crew, and the Jets maintain possession. The man was down on the ground, is what Red Cashin says. Don Shula says, tell me, will you, Red?
I don't think we've had a turnover in this game yet, have we? No turnovers. That's a brilliant played football game.
Let's watch Tony Page, number 49. Mike Charles is number 71. Betters gets an arm around down at the bottom of the pile, and the ball comes loose. But they say Page was down. Second down, goal to go. The ball at the 6. O'Brien puts it in the corner of the end zone, and again, Council, as he was in the first quarter, is out of bounds.
I was about to say 2 plays ago that unfortunately it's first down and goal to goal, and unfortunately this is when Miami defense is at its toughest.
Twice in the first half, Joe Walton had his troops with a first down goal to go, once at the 6, once at the 3. On each occasion they had to settle for a 3-pointer. Kurt Stone has brought the play in. You saw Joe Walton give him the play to deliver to Ken O'Brien. And here it is. Third down, goal to go. The ball at the 6-yard line. Johnny Hector. And Hector to the 2-yard line. And Joe Walton will send the field goal see the Jets go for the big one. But at 13-7, Joe Walton wants 3.
And you can't say enough about this Dolphins short yardage defense. Boy, are they tough.
The field goal by Leahy, who has already hit twice tonight, would make it a 16-7 game. And that would force the Dolphins to score twice. 18-yard attempt. They've been able to get in close for Pat Leahy. But again, with a first down goal to go, they have to settle for 3. The 3 times tonight they've had to settle, and Joe Walton once again is really exercised. He doesn't like it. Game third in the AFC defensively. They have allowed now 365 yards by the Jets on the ground and through the air, and we have 14 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Deep is Lorenzo Hampton. Pat Leahy set to kick off. And Hampton is in the end zone. Mishandled it, so he stays there for the touchback. Saturday, CFA goes back to the very beginning of pro football. On 1st and 10, the Dolphins would like to get something happening. And they try Tony Nathan over the left side for a couple of yards. He gets 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. That's the end of the third quarter. You'll hear it from the Jets fans. They're on top of the Dolphins 16-7. We'll be back after this from our station.
It sure is good to see Kurt Warner back in there.
Dickerson has 306 yards on the season. Boy, I'll tell you, it was tough going for both Dickerson and Wilder yesterday. The Rams met Tampa Bay. 2nd down and 7 as we begin the fourth quarter. The Dolphins at their own 23-yard line. Dan Marino completely puzzled with the Jets defense thus far. He gets the ball to tight end Dan Johnson, and Johnson is hit near the 30-yard line. It'll be a Dolphin first down. Kirk Springs coming up there to make the stop, and a flag is back in the backfield, and that is usually where you get the holding call. See that flag go down there? Usually is going to be holding.
Number 74 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Cleveland Green, number 74. And we'll look at it from our reverse angle camera. He's having a hard time with Gastineau tonight. And one way to stop him, I guess, is to get a hold of the jersey. Gastineau really literally playing with one hand. The broken thumb, as you can see in the cap. And yet he forces Cleveland Green into the hold. And a first down out of the 30-yard line is now a 2nd down and 20. The ball inside the 12-yard line of the Dolphins. Lorenzo Hampton. Great play by Lance Snell, who used to play on the outside, played so well there. Now in the 3-4, they have him on the inside, but he's still making the great plays. And you hear about all the great linebackers around football. Well, Lance Snell just sort of labors in obscurity, but does it so well. I think even more so than Gastineau and Flecko, the change for Lance Snell moving to the inside has been a dramatic one. He had 5 years on the outside. Now he's in there where traffic is coming from every which way. 3rd down and 11. Marino trying to get it deep. Darrell Harris is the only Dolphin receiver pressured by Gastineau on Marino. At least he had to see Gastineau getting around Cleveland Green one more time.
I still maintain that Dan Marino is accustomed to seeing people like Mark Duper with that 9-0 speed run down some of those passes.
Duper, of course, out of the Dolphin lineup, as we mentioned several times tonight. Hairline fracture, the tibia in the leg. I don't know when they'll get him back. It's Kirk Springs and JoJo Townsend. This is Townsend. And Roby set to punt. High snap. Roby has to field it. And a beautiful punt. Townsend at the 25-yard line. And Townsend goes goes down out at the 38-yard line. Good return by Townsend. A booming to punt by Roby at 56 yards. And it was Brzezinski getting down to tackle Townsend. We'll be right back. Are enjoying this tonight. The Dolphins have beaten the Jets 7 straight. The last victory for the Jets was back in 1981. Then they had a tie prior to that. And prior to that, the Jets had defeated the Dolphins 7 straight. Strange series and a bit of rivalry between the two. They usually dominate in the AFC East. The Jets have a first down and 10. The ball near the 38-yard line. They have a 16-7 lead. And O'Brien is back again. O'Brien chased out of bounds by Fetters, a yard short of a first down. Young kid O'Brien, perhaps a super night by this young quarterback, being overshadowed by a brilliant performance by running back Freeman McNeil. No turnovers by the Jets.
Or by the Dolphins, for that matter. This is really an excellent football game.
Well-played game. McNeil, 123 yards rushing. O'Brien looks over, a 2nd and 1. McNeil just explodes through their line of scrimmage for a first down at the Dolphins 45. And I said earlier that he's one of the quickest backs you're ever going to see, and you saw it right there.
And when you work a back, I know I'm repeating myself, but when you work a back, any back, you let him run the ball enough to get tired, then he stops thinking and he starts reacting, and that's when he's at his best.
At the 45-yard line, the Jets have done it through the air. They've done it on the ground. There is still in this game, the Dolphins are, however, because the Jets, when they get in close, have been unable to get it in. McNeil again to the 30-yard line. Another Jet first down. You're watching brilliant running tonight on the part of a healthy Freeman McNeil.
Well, he's having the job done for him up front. And right now, he just wants the ball. He is a little tired, but you see that there's no penetration. Before he ran 5 to 6, 7 yards before he even came up to a Dolphin. He's in the open field and he goes down. Actually, all of those yards you attribute to the offensive line. They did the job for him.
And he hasn't done badly. First and 10 at the 30-yard line. He gets a breather. Johnny Hector, number 34. He, too, has been effective tonight rushing the ball. He's in there. Sprint down the sidelines, and Wesley Walker cannot get behind Judson.
That was good coverage that time by Judson.
In the middle of that defensive pile there will be Buddy Carson.
I tell you, they're winning. They're doing an excellent job. They're still talking about something else to do. And the best thing you can do as a coach for a team is to give them enthusiasm, make the game fun for them. And that's what Bud Carson has done for this defensive unit.
And the Jets well remember in the fourth quarter a year ago, they were leading by just about this much. The Dolphins came back to beat them. This is Tony Payne. Stays on his feet. Gets to the 27-yard line. Bob Brzezinski over there to cover.
There's Bud Carson.
Words of wisdom from the Wizard. He was just off last year, kind of a consultant for the University of Kansas. He didn't get along too well out with John Malkovich at Kansas City. Left there right before the season started, or just as the season started. Took the year off, so to speak. And Joe Walton, in the conversation this morning, said he was just so delighted to pick up Buddy Carson. Of course, we mentioned earlier with the Steelers during their great years in the 70s, with the Rams in 79 at the Super Bowl. He's done a great job with the Jets, obviously. Third down, 6. O'Brien. Shulin. Another Jet first down at the 15-yard line. Robert Sowell defensively with the Jets foot prowling once again. Brilliant offensive performance by this offensive line of the Jets and Kenny O'Brien. He's just having a sneaky great night on his own. Overshadowed by a tremendous performance by Freeman McNeil. That was his 18th completion of 28 attempts, over 237 yards and 1 touchdown. And another Jet first down near the 15. It was the defense of the Jets in the first half, and the offense here in the second half. Freeman McNeil again. Inside the 5, it'll be first down, goal to go near the 2. Dan Alexander, number 60, with a great block, and McNeil, I think, just fatigued somewhat, but I'm sure does not want to leave this one, O.J.
Well, he is just having a good time. The Jets' record for rushing in a single game is 192 yards. The way this game is going, he should be able to get that on the next series, but he is having fun. He was tiptoeing on that play. When you get up on your toes, you're tiptoeing. You just know you can do whatever you feel like doing.
First down, goal to go at the 2. Once before, the Jets had a first and goal at the 3. They didn't get in. Johnny Hector held short again. 3 times tonight they've had a first and goal to go. Once at the 6, once at the 7, and once at the 3. And O'Neill says, I want to go back in there, Coach.
And all week long, when I went out to the Jets camp, and they talked about the ability of Hector to go over the top. He was a broad jumper in college and high school, and they say he can really accelerate. I'm surprised they haven't used Hector over the top down here.
Second and goal. Hector short again.
Hey, these Miami Dolphins.
O.J., don't you want that over the top out of an I formation rather than split?
A lot better, because when he jumped, he was jumping laterally instead of straight into the end zone. So you do have a point there. Sometimes they don't like to line up an I because it gives those blitzing outside linebackers time to turn that corner and catch the back before he takes off.
Third down, goal to go.
But I would run it out of the I, Joe.
Freeman McNeil is flanked. Tony Page has the football. Page pulls his way into the end zone. For the Jets. They've covered a lot of yardage. 80 yards as they opened the second half. Ken O'Brien hitting Kurt Stone. Then 79 yards, and they've just gone 62 yards. But they've used up over 5 minutes on each of those drives. Lorenzo Hampton is deep for the Dolphins. And the Dolphins have been really being pounded both offensively and defensively. Fired up Jets team. Puts it up high. Hampton from the 4-yard line. Oh, and he tripped up. Had he been able to stay on his feet, only Pat Leahy was between Hampton and the goal line. 30-yard return. Bruckner hustling down there and tripping up Hampton. Take a look at that scoring drive. Again, a beautiful mixture of the run and the pass. Joe Walton sending the plays in. Freeman McNeil just exploding to the line of scrimmage. And finally, the big man, Page, taking it in. The Dolphins will try again at the 32. They trail 23-7, 8:05 remaining in the game. Nathan. That's a pretty strange call to me. I don't know why they're running the ball here. Flacco will be at the bottom of that pile. You just don't want to turn that Jet defensive line loose, thinking that they're not going to run.
Well, I don't know about turning them loose, Frank. With less than 8 minutes in the game, you need 3 scores to win or to go ahead. I don't think you can worry about that Jet rush.
Well, you have to worry about having a quarterback next week.
Well, I guess so. That's giving up, and I don't see Don Shula giving up this early.
Second down and 8. That's rather impressive. Flacco. don't know why he made the stop on Clayton, but it's a first down for the Dolphins there in Jet territory at the 47. Let's look at Clayton. Marino, just as he delivered the ball, was hit a shot by Klecko, and I'm surprised he was able to get up. Let's take a look at Joe Klecko. This time they are in a 4-man down line. He comes from the outside, and down goes Marino. That's Lyons, Marty Lyons. On 1st and 10. Marino back again. Picked off by Bobby Jackson. Jackson out to the 42-yard line as Marino tried to squeeze one in to Nat Moore, and now he is very slow getting up. There's a scuffle at midfield. That's the fourth one we've had this evening.
Dan's a tough football player. He's all right. A great competitor and a tough football player.
There's Marty Lyons at the bottom of that. He was the man who pressured Marino 2 plays ago. And Marino was hit again as he released this one. And the personal foul.
Offset, first down.
Offsetting personal fouls. It happened after the play was over. So the Jets will keep the football.
Well, what happened? Marty Lyons had Dan on the ground as Marty was getting up. One of the offensive linemen for Miami, I didn't get his number, charged Lyons, and Lyons just caught him, and both of them got offsetting penalties.
There'll be better days for Dan Marino. We certainly know that. But they have been in his face all night long. First down and 10, the Jets at the 41-yard line. Freeman McNeil. Again, they run right. 2-yard pickup. It'll be second down and 8. You know, ticking away.
I can't help believing, and I mentioned this before, the Dolphins defensive front really misses Bob Bumhauer, the nose tackle. They've alternated George Little in there with Mike Charles, but it hasn't done any good. Right now, George Little is in the game at nose tackle, and they've moved Mike Charles over to defensive right end. But they still haven't stopped the Jets' running game.
Time remaining in the game. The Jets leading 23-7. The Jets at their own 44-yard line. Freeman McNeil hit hard at the 48-yard line after a 4-yard pickup. It'll be third down and 3, and the Jets working on the clock. And McNeil having the kind of day you know that he can have when he's healthy.
4-yard pickup.
He takes off for a little bit of a breather, and in comes Johnny Hector. Third down 3. And Hector has been doing this every time he comes into the game to give a breather to Freeman McNeil.
So I was saying, he's been no day at the beach for Miami at all. Once again, when you give a running back this much room to run, stop that penetration, well, it's going to be a long day for you.
You know, he had kind of an escort out there with Dan Alexander and Marvin Powell, and I know if I was a cornerback, I sure wouldn't want to get in one of those fellows' way.
The first down for the Jets, the 41-yard line of the Dolphins. The Jets totally dominant tonight. Major dominance in defense in the first half, and offensively they have exploded here in the second half. McNeil, 5 more. It'll be second down and 5. The Dolphins bench. They were 14-2 a year ago. They came into tonight 4-1, tied with the Jets in the AFC East. They, of course, went all the way to the Super Bowl before losing to the 49ers last year. And maybe somewhat exposed against the 49ers.
Well, they're showing one thing tonight. Of course, we got Bowser out and Baumhauer out. Their biggest problem last year was stopping the run, and it seems to be a problem they still have this year.
Second and 5. Freeman McNeil slips as he tries to cut back against the grain. Gets inside the 35-yard line. It'll be third down and 4. I remind you, Sunday, October the 27th, one of the most unique and exciting endurance running competitions you'll ever see. Over 18,000 people will line up in the... Johnny Heckler, and Heckler has another Jet first down.
That's amazing that Miami, obviously, they know all the Jets are going to do is run the football, and they still can't stop them.
Joe Fields and Jim Sweeney just flew across that line of scrimmage that time and did a terrific job blocking.
And a lot of people may be wondering, maybe this is a residue of Marino missing training camp. They're not in sync. This is a team that just got whooped tonight.
Yeah, I believe so. I talked with Marino and Coach Shula yesterday, and they felt Dan was back to his normal style. I don't think training camp is hurting him now.
You saw so much in the face of Don Shula a few moments ago. Johnny Heckler, another Jet first down on the ground. Seconds ticking off.
Now, I tell you something. He ran by two offensive linemen at the line who didn't even block. He still took off, and he gained about 13 yards.
Don Shula has seen it all. He really has. Over 22 years as a head coach, now in his 23rd year. Played with the Cleveland Browns, the Washington Redskins, the Baltimore Colts. Been to 5 Super Bowls, won a couple. But his team is being totally dominated tonight. The Jets are going to let it tick down to the 2-minute warning. For Joe Walt, who has reshaped this Jets team exactly how he wanted it, has suffered through 2 7-9 seasons. Things are looking up. Chicago, great time of the year to be there. Looking forward to the Green Bay Packers, who they are on their road back. And the Bears, along with the Rams, only 2 undefeated teams in pro football today. Final 2 minutes of this game. The ball at the Dolphins, 16-yard line. First down, 10 Jets. Johnny Heckler. And Heckler, he'll lose about 3. Great night for McNeil. I'll remind you on Nightline tonight, Raymond McNeil had over 200 yards in a playoff game against Cincinnati. Earlier this year, set a Jet record with 192 yards, and tonight he has 173 yards. And Johnny Heckler, had he been in there, might have 200.
You know, I can't help believing Kim Beaucamper was hurt early in the game, and that may have been the major problem for the defensive line that the Dolphins have had tonight. They did move Mike Charles over to Beaucamper's spot and put George Little over the center, so maybe Beaucamper's absence had something to do with the Jets running the ball so freely.
It might have been part of the problem, but this has been a combined effort on the part of the Dolphins. Jets have just stormed in here tonight. They dominated defensively in the first half, totally dominated here offensively in the second half. McNeil, 218 yards combined on the night. And now they work Johnny Heckler as the final second tick down. The Jets are going to go 5-1. Next Sunday, the Jets will be in New England. Next Sunday, Don Shula is glad to get out of Giant Stadium. He'll be home for Tampa Bay.